celebrating Toledo authors. That's right, book writers. Maybe something that book club people want to come take a listen to, because you may want to consider having a couple of these books in your book discussion. Today, we are focusing on financial literacy in all various forms for all different ages and for people in different income brackets. And so let's just jump right into it, shall we? First one we're going to talk about is a book from Leandra Penny, who I happen to know, by the way. She has a book out right now on Amazon, and it's called The All-in-One Financial and Self-Care Planner. Very important book for young people, people of all ages, but in particular young people, because this young woman happens to be a young lady who has basically been self-taught. She has self-taught herself in so many areas, become very, very successful at this point, to the point that she now has a book on Amazon, and she's actually showing other people how she did it. We may think it can't be done, but it can be done. And Leandra lays out a simple format for us to determine how we can have financial literacy and self-care and still maintain our mental health at the same time, because we know, as we all know, as young people do go through a lot of money, sometimes frivolously, sometimes not. And at the end of the month, you often find that you have more bills left than you have money, and you end up with a headache, basically. And so Leandra is introducing a one of a kind finance and self care planner that will help you achieve your financial goals while keeping your overall well being in check. And so that's very, very important. And coming from a young woman that has a lot of different things on her plate, it's very, very important to have mental awareness and mental acuity and have your mental status intact while you're trying to deal with everything else in life. And you're still trying to save. You're still trying to save money that you worked for, whether it be for an unexpected expense or for an expense that you may end up having to deal with family members or friends. And so she indicates in this book that we believe financial planning is not just about numbers, but it is a crucial part of taking care of yourself and your loved ones. And so she's absolutely right in that. And again, I'm very, very proud of this young lady for putting out a book like this, because it basically addresses financial stability and personal growth simultaneously. And so if you get a chance, please do support this Toledo author. She is a young woman, and she's really come up, and I'm very supportive of her, which is why she's the first person that I actually put on my list tonight, because I think it's very, very important that we hop over to Amazon and support her and show her and other young people in Toledo, authors and artists, that we're very proud of what they do, and we would like to support them in what they do. And so again, the All-in-One Financial Self-Care Planner by Leandra Penny. It's on Amazon, so hop over there and get it as soon as you can, okay? The other book that we'd like to talk about is from a gentleman that I also know. He's on Point Place. Actually, his name is Robert Nisley, and he has a book entitled The Wall Street Casino. The Wall Street Casino. And this basically is a book that provides education for those who are in the investment market. Very, very important that you understand your financial literacy when you hop into that arena, because you could win a lot of money, gain a lot of money, I should say, but you could also lose a lot of money. As many of you and myself, we know this already, okay? Most of us, as far as financial planning is concerned, if you work a job, you know about your 401k. You take a certain amount of money out of your paycheck, you hand it over to your employer, and you allow their investors to do what they do. But very seldom do you know what your money's being invested in. Most of you, if you're smart, or you invest most of it in a guaranteed fund that you'll get probably 75 to 80% of it back. And then some people are a little bit more risky, where they want to put it in a little riskier account, and they want a chance getting a bigger return on their money, which is okay if you know what you're doing and you trust the person that's investing your money for you. And so Robert actually addresses the hidden costs and fees that impact millions of investors. We could possibly think that we've taken, $10,000 or $5,000 or even $1,000 and invested it, and then when you get your money back, you wonder where all those fees came from. Okay, and so that's something that you'll want to explore in this book. Again, it's called The Wall Street Casino by Robert Knisley. Robert's out in Point Place, if I didn't mention that already. And this combines education with an intriguing, enjoyable fashion to keep you turning the pages. It's got some humor to it. It really does. It tells a little story, and at the end, it will all come together for you. But it tells a little bit of a humorous story. And then at the end, you're like, oh, that's that's what that meant, and it just takes everything and ties it up for you so that you get the understanding of it. And so when we start talking about either retirement investment or just investment as you go along, that may be a book that you may want to check out. Again, it's by Robert Knisley, and it's called The Wall Street Casino. Very interesting title, I would say, indeed, wouldn't you? The next book is by someone we all know and love. He's a very well-known character in Toledo, Ohio. His name is Jody Summers. Jody has a book out on Amazon right now. He's got several books. In fact, he has a book. His first series is on Amazon, Kindle, and Barnes and Noble. And this particular one, Tears of the Wounded, My Words Only by Jody Summers, aka Child of the System. This is volume 2. And if you haven't met Jody and you live in Toledo, then you haven't heard his stories, because Jody has a myriad stories in his poetry and his presentation when he does live poetry. And he's extremely talented, and he will draw you in with the experiences that he has gone through. His artistry in the book is outstanding. I really think that, and when I say outstanding, I mean that it actually is art that makes you think. And this is from a person who has gone through the system, who has survived traumas of the system, and who has still managed to come out as a very successful author, worker, and political advocate in Toledo, Ohio. And so he is worth a good read. This particular book talks about the undeniable truths that we all must face. And so Jody is not just talking about his own situation in Tears of the Wounded, but something in this book, whether it's his poetry or statement, will probably touch each reader that reads this particular book, because it's something that's very raw, it's very real, but it's also very encouraging, and it's very uplifting, and it presents a person who has gone through some very some things that most people will probably, take issue with, and at some point in their life have to, seek whatever counsel or therapy or what have you, have to get through it, and then you talk about it. And that's what Jody is doing. He's talking about his truths only. That's why he calls it his truths only spoken word. So if you get a chance to go and get that book, it is in, Jody has most of his works in the Toledo Library. And if you want it, you can get it through Kindle. I believe it's at a reduced price on Kindle, but definitely hop over to Amazon and check out Jody's book in Barnes and Noble. And he should have a whole list of his books that he has published in there as well. I think he's going to be a very successful artist, that's for sure. Okay. Now the next book that we have is called The Great Banned Books Bake Sale Book. And this is a book that has been awarded by the CBC Favorites Award for 2024. And it addresses a somewhat of a political issue, if you will. And it's talking about banned books in elementary schools, college level schools, books that are being banned across the United States. Now, I'm not going to get into the political aspect of that, because it has its own arguments on a different show at a different time. But this particular book deals with a young woman, a young girl. I don't want to call her a woman, because she's a young girl who actually came to the United States and is trying to fit in, and felt very comfortable going to her school library and seeing books with pages of girls who looked like her. And then all of a sudden she comes in and all of those books are gone. She no longer identifies with anything that she's reading right now, because it doesn't pertain to her. And she's fairly new to the United States. So what kind of trauma does that cause? What kind of mental issues does that cause? What kind of clarity do we need to have for a child that does not understand why books with pictures that look like her, talks about her history, are no longer in our schools? And so this book is tailored for ages 7 through 10, and I think that would be grade 3 through 5. And it's by an author who, this person actually co-authored the book with another person, and there's an illustrator here. And the person's name is Aya Khalil, Ayakhalil. And again, it's called The Great Banned bake sale. Title is, already kind of catchy as it is, but it's really a good read because, oftentimes when we hop into the politics about so many things, we don't actually think about the issues or the impact that our issues have on our children. And so I could really understand why there may be young people who may have a problem identifying with the books that are on the shelves right now. There are no they've taken them off, as you know, and I'm not going to get into the details of that because if you're a parent, you already know what's been removed and what's not. And you can find some books in some places and other books you cannot because they are strictly prohibited. And even in college, when you're of age and can make a decision when you want to, of what you want to read, they're being taken out in some states. And so this is really a really good book for um, people who are trying to understand that process. And this young girl in the book actually gets her own voice. She gets her voice to say, basically, books are for everyone. No banned books, no banned books. And so I really do think this would be a good read for any adult. Honestly, any adult can read this book, and the book is specifically tailored toward third through fifth grade. And again, was given a 2024 CBC Favorites Award. That's a national annual reading and voting program. And so and the thing is that the votes come in from young people, from teachers, from librarians. So this is a credible book, and I think that I really think that that's a good read. I really wanted to put that out there. I thought that would be something that we should all support, again, from a Toledo author. Okay. All right. So that's that. And then now what we're going to do is we're going to talk about a couple of events that we have coming up. If you need, again, a heads up on any of the books, please do look in the comment section of our Facebook page. Facebook page is called Toledo to the World. And we're going to put all those books in there where we'll put the links to where you can go and get them. Most of them are on Amazon, like I said. And we'll put the links in there for you to go and get those books. You want to take a good read. And I do believe you get most of those on at a reduced price if you have a Kindle. Okay. So make sure you check those out. All right, so we're gonna now go into a couple of events that we are trying to support through Toledo, Ohio. One of them coming up is going to be the 2024 Girl Power event. It's a event that's going to be held at the family. Whew, friendly, not even a friendly center. It's a family friendly community event. I'm sorry I messed that up, but it's going to be held at the Frederick Douglass Community Center. There's a lot of F's through all of that. Okay, so it's a family friendly community event at the Frederick Douglass Community Center at over there on Indiana Avenue, 1001 Indiana Avenue, on Saturday, June the 1st, September 24th, from 1 to 4 p.m. 4 p.m. And so what it basically is, it's a girls activity event. Girls activity event, and they're going to have a basketball tournament. Basically, it's for children, girls, age 9 to 12. And so if you want your child, your girl child, to be involved in something like that over at the Frederick Douglass Community Center, make sure you get your child registered for it first of all. And you can do that by calling 419-466-0566. And I'll make sure I put that information up on the web not on the web page, but on the Facebook page as well. Okay. We'll make sure we get that listed for you. Okay, we're also going to go ahead and again talk about a couple of events that we have coming up in Toledo, Ohio. We're bragging about Toledo, Ohio, because we want all of you folks that are watching right now to come on in and visit us over at Toledo, Ohio, the 419. Okay, we are only 40 to 45 minutes south of Michigan, and the number one capital in the world, Detroit. We are not far from that, so some of that magic has rubbed off on us, and of course we rub our magic off on you Michiganders as well. So Toledo, Michigan, we kind of co-work together in a whole lot of areas. We're rivals in that football and basketball situation, but it's all out of love. Trust me, it's all out of love. Okay. All right. Let's talk about a couple of events that we have coming up. We want to talk about the bike ride again. We're going to talk about the Old West End bike ride. It's the glow. I believe they call it the Old West End Glow Roll. Okay, and that's going to be on 531 May 31st, that is, and that's going to precede the Old West End Festival, which is going to be the following 2 days, the Saturday and the Sunday of June 1st and June 2nd. But this is going to actually be from 8 to 10 o'clock at night. The actual ride will start at 9 o'clock. All children must be accompanied by a parent, and all bikes need to have the glow sticks as well. And so we want to make sure that you all understand the information there that we're presenting to you, and we want you all to be a part of it as well. So come on down, get registered for that. The Old West End Glow Row is a very fun event. You want to actually kick off the Old West End Festival the right way. That's how we're going to do it. Okay. The next event that we want to talk about is June 1st and June 2nd. Again, it is the Old West End Festival. We have this festival every year. This is the 51st annual Old West End Festival. 51 years. Can you imagine 51 years? And this festival attracts thousands and thousands of people. Okay, make sure you come down and you're a part of that crowd. We have food trucks, we have entertainment, we have historic home openings where you can go in and you look at the homes that were built in very very early on. You know, it's just historic. When I say historic and the detailed history, something that you will definitely appreciate. Trust me, I've been on the tours and they're absolutely beautiful. There are 24 to 27 blocks. And when I say blocks, I do mean blocks. The Old West End's blocks are like anybody else's. It's 2 or 3 blocks put together. The blocks are very, very long, so it's a lot of walking. And mostly every street, Glenwood, Robinwood, Scottwood, Parkwood, they all pretty much dead end right there at our art museum. So if you park at the art museum and you're from out of town, any of the streets that you get out on right there will walk you all the way through the Old West End, and you're going to have a sight to see, and you're going to have a good time. It's always a good time. Yard sales, bake sales, marching, horses, all of that, parades, everything. So make sure you are a part of the Old West End 51st annual Old West End Festival, June 1st and June 2nd. We want you to be a part of that. Come on down and visit us. If you have any questions, possible rain date or any of the event activities, make sure you get on the Old West End Festival site, and you'll find all of that there. And again, I will make sure that I post that information for you on the Toledo to the World Facebook page as well. Okay, so make sure you go and you support our page. It is on Facebook, Toledo to the World. It's Deborah Sue and Rochelle. We are there. Make sure you support, you like, and you share. And by all means, please definitely go to our YouTube channel and support, like, and share that page as well. So it's a show. It's a live show we have every single week, and we're bragging about our city of Toledo. Okay, we do support individuals from other cities. We are a welcoming community, and we're welcoming other people and supporting other people's businesses as well as their artistry on this particular channel. Okay, so that's all we have for today. We are going to cut it right here, and we are going to see you all next week with our special guest. And again, hopefully Rochelle will be back with us there. Rochelle is my co-host, and wishing her again a speedy recovery. In the meantime, Toledo, we're going to tune out. We're going to see you next week.